This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan. With your host, Bradley Summers. And get the latest from Alpena Community College with ACC President Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Hello everyone and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host Bradley Summers, and this morning our very first guest is Danielle Moffett of the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Hey Dan.
Good morning, Brad. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you. So, it's crazy to think we're already into what feels like the preamble of our fall season. And I know you had a really busy summer and some really cool opportunities that were, presented to youth education and, offering obviously at the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Give us a little recap of some of the cool highlights from this summer.
Sure, yeah, you're right. It's been quite a summer. One of the things, and I think maybe the most visual in the community, is the Viking cruise ships that have come. So it was May 2nd when the first ship pulled into port. It was a high of 38 degrees that day with a little bit of rain. And then we just finished up on Monday, September 18th was our final, the 20th out of 20 visits for that cruise ship, which brought over 7,000 people into the community and doing different excursions, lighthouses, and at the Marine Sanctuary and the Maritime Heritage Center. So that was a big one, kind of in the rear view mirror now. And then the other ones that, through my work that I'm connected to are the student programs. So we had a few summer programs, one about watershed education for elementary students. That went really well. One about ROVs, underwater robotics, with our program there. Mm-hmm. And then one I like to highlight is called Outside and Unplugged. It's where we took high school students, basically the unplugged part said, hey, no phones on these trips, and we're going to go outside and explore our sanctuary and put them in all sorts of fun environments doing recreational activities, one of which was with the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, and it was a really cool opportunity this summer, as even kids that live in the community still have yet to see some of these opportunities like the lighthouses and go kayaking, or, they got the opportunity to stay at Camp Chickagami and, do some things that all kids, especially kids that live in our area, should have that opportunity.
Totally agree. And kind of the ethos of our program is to get kids near the water, on the water, in the water, under the water. And maybe to supplement some of those things, resources that the students or families don't have if they don't have a snorkel set or kayaks or access to a boat. What our program tries to do is immerse them in the sanctuary, immerse them in the water so that they can have those hopefully life-changing experiences. And so some of those students, we took about 20 Boys and Girls Club students up to Camp Chick, some for the very first time. They got to go snorkeling in Lake Esau, and we hiked out to Lake Huron, talked about shipwrecks, and it's all centered on the idea of creating Great Lakes stewards, so becoming caretakers of the lakes, which in turn is caretakers of our community and the people within the community.
Yeah, because if we don't bestow these things on to our next generation, then obviously we don't have these things for future use.
Yeah.
So it's imperative that we teach the next generation, which I know you are a very relatable, very engaging person when it comes to working with these young people. And I know from just personal conversations that I had with participants that they took a lot away from this. Which is a testament to your ability to engage these kids and present some really cool real life application and learn from it.
Right. Well, I appreciate that, and I've been in youth development and environmental education, looking at the clock now, for about 15 years, and it's really a passion of mine. And so I wake up every day just grateful for the opportunity to work for an organization like the Sanctuary and do it in the capacity of, coming alongside of these youth and getting them engaged in what this community has to offer.
Yeah, and You know, so I applaud you for, you know, for taking that opportunity to really reach out to these kids and give them that platform to understand more of the resources that we have, and then have a voice.
Sure.
You know, and that's really important too. It's not just, hey, we have these beautiful resources around us and these great things, but giving them a voice on, you know, potentially helping in the future and being, of course, like you said, stewards of this great area that we live in.
Right. And after that experience up at Camp Chick, I just realized that we have some pretty amazing youth in this community, and they need an opportunity to be challenged, to make decisions, to be in leadership positions, and to do that outside, you know, in the natural environment. It just adds another kind of component of learning and space that they can connect to whatever it is they happen to do in the future.
And it's amazing that their screen time is looking in the water or looking at leaves instead of like an actual screen on their telephone.
Right. Thinking about this generation and their relationships, some of it is, most of it maybe is online or virtual, and you know, we've been through that the past few years, but having that relationship, building it face to face, learning a child's name and using that name and giving them kind of a place and a space to have those remarks and experiences, that's what we're all about. And we've had quite a successful summer doing that program, and look forward to, you know, what we have coming up for the fall and into next season.
Excellent. And, you know, just I want to just go back on the Viking tours for a second. You know, 7,000 people in our community, you know, coming that may not know even Alpena existed. And, you know, from things that I heard from individuals that were on these tours, and just having the opportunity to engage with them on a, you know, on a small basis, but, you know, is the charm of Alpena. And it's such a huge draw that, you know, we don't have these major highways coming through. We have these, you know, beautiful restaurants and beautiful, you know, family-owned businesses and things
Right.
of that nature that people can go and visit. And that charm is so important. And it's cool that, you know, looking at down the river that we have NOAA, one of 17 in the entire world, correct?
Yeah, in the whole sanctuary system.
Yeah, in the sanctuary system. So it's really neat that, you know, a place like Alpena in our community gets to see these people and, you know, this opportunity with the partnership to, you know, go to these restaurants and experience what we get to experience every day, which is pretty dang cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I think about that often. I grew up in Tawas, and then coming to Alpena about a decade ago, it's amazing to see what a resource like the National Marine Sanctuary can have in a small community like this. And so proud to be a part of that. And like you're saying, for those Viking passengers that do come through, you know, they're seeing the other cities like Toronto, Detroit, Milwaukee, and we are, you know, continually one of the highest rated stops for those passengers.
Yeah, and it's that charm.
Yeah,
it really is. People here are
kudos to the community and the business owners, and you know, to welcome them. And next year, 26 stops for Viking, so even more than this past season.
Wow, 6 more times. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it's already the end of our segment, which is crazy to think about. It just goes by so fast. But next time you're on, I really want to talk about some of the film festival opportunities for the youth that are upcoming. And if anybody that's out there, people that are watching, you know, please visit your social media page and the website. It definitely gives a lot of really cool upcoming events, and of course talks about some of the wonderful work that you're doing with youth engagement in our community.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to talk to you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Stay tuned after the break with Ted Fines from Habitat for Humanity, Northeast Michigan. Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest is Ted Fines from Habitat for Humanity, Northeast Michigan. Hey, Ted.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. So I know you are in the community, are very busy with the projects that you have going on with Habitat.
Yep.
With a lot of really great things that are going on.
Yep.
Of course, the 2 things that we really want to talk about today are ways that support those great things, which are 2 fundraising events that you have coming up.
Our annual dinner.
Yep, the annual dinner, which is September 28th at the Phoenix Room at JJ's, correct?
Thursday. Starting at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
We're projecting right now probably around 75 to 80 people.
Awesome.
And our keynote speaker is the president and CEO of Habitat Michigan, driving up from Lansing. And so John Williams. So that's going to be, we've got some pretty neat events going on that night. So we're looking forward to people like yourself to participate.
You know, and it's pretty awesome too. I mean, just the exposure that you've brought to the programs and to Habitat for Northeast Michigan with, you know, like we were saying just before we started taping here, with your ear to the ground, being on the board, the state board,
Yeah.
the president of the state board.
I am a representative on the state board.
And
have been for the last year.
You know, and that's so important, the advocacy in our state with, you know, garnering the attention of the lawmakers and politicians, because they are able to garner or to advocate for those funds to be, you know, delegated to our area, which is important for the quality of life.
Well, it's incumbent upon me as the, in my leadership role as Habitat Executive Director in Northeast Michigan, to advocate for Northeast Michigan and the community members. We have been, when I took over this job 7.5 years ago, it was obvious that we were not getting the funding, we weren't getting the recognition, we weren't represented, and so it was really important for me to not only be the face, but develop a model that other affiliates might want to follow. And so I was pretty aggressive when it came to advocating, you know, what Habitat is all about. Because people to this day still don't understand the programs that we do offer. So it's been a challenge, but it's been a wonderful challenge. And I think the results are that our turnout and the reception that we're going to get on Thursday at our annual dinner is just going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And you're giving away prizes, there's raffles,
yeah.
There's all kinds of really fun opportunities, and tickets are for a couple $50 for tickets, or 20
for a couple $50, single 35, family of 4 75, and if you buy a table it's $150, and it's at JJ's. So I mean,
in their beautiful new room that they have.
Beautiful new room. I mean, we're auctioning off 3 items, which is a 6x6 deer blind, appropriate for northern Michigan, a kayak with paddles and life vest, and a $350 gift card with Boland's jewelry.
Aren't they just so wonderful too, that they always support?
Yeah.
You know, and you said too that the deer blind, the first prize, is actually built by some of your teams.
Yeah, team, volunteers, and board members.
Nice.
So it's been a great effort. I think it's a representative of what Habitat is all about.
Yeah.
We're people. I mean, we are a Christian-based organization. We reach out to everyone. There isn't anyone that doesn't cross our threshold that we can't help.
Yeah, so the raffle tickets that are on sale right now, those, the announcement will be made at the dinner on Thursday.
Yes.
Okay.
And you don't have to be there, because obviously we've been selling a lot of tickets at the Restore, so you don't have to be there, but it would be nice.
Yeah, don't tell people they're selling lots of tickets at the Restore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, and the funds that are raised from this are used to help assist with projects going on in the community.
Yeah, and it's been obvious, and the response to the house on Washington has been incredible. We're getting to the point now where we're hoping to finish and have the family moved in and closed, mortgage closed sometime in November of this year. We have ordered a new house for Merchant Street.
Cool.
You know, new modular through General Housing Corporation in Bay City. So we're breaking ground in October on that project. We did close on a house on Jefferson Street about 6 weeks ago for a family of 2 that had never owned a house before. Wow. They're in their 50s. So besides all the repairs that we've done within our service area of 5 counties and 5 additional counties that don't have Habitat affiliates. So we're right now probably just over 150 repairs. Wow. Averaging about $7,500 to $8,000. So times 150 is
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Over $750,000.
I'd say it's over $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty incredible too that, just driving around, in the community and seeing the things that you're doing, and a lot of things, some things that you're doing are behind the scenes where, it's you're going into homes and helping, assist with some really important things to improve the quality of life.
Yeah, and we're an aging population, so it's really these seniors who have raised families 40 years ago are sitting in very large houses at times that they haven't been able to maintain because they're on fixed incomes. So that's where we come in to play here. So it's really, really important. I also want to mention that we're in negotiations with developing property in Hillman right now, 20 acres for single family homes.
And I know you're a big picture person, and I know you're thinking always, how can we expand and reach more and more people and provide more resources?
Yeah, and our staff, our goal as a staff is to make sure that everyone is aware and everyone can tap into what Habitat does, to see a world where everyone has a decent place to live.
Well, yeah, that's the goal, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
And and the business model that you have as well isn't just these people show up to this home that's beautifully decorated and completely furnished. People put sweat equity into this too.
Oh yeah, every adult, for instance, on the house, the young lady will be putting in, or has been putting in, 250 hours of sweat equity, and she'll probably put in a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Because once you start realizing that this is your home, you'll put in all the time and effort into it. And she's working full time. So it's really, really a challenge for every family, every individual to attain home ownership. It's not easy. And that's where we come into play. This is our goal. This is our challenge to make sure that people understand what home ownership is all about, what it is to maintain that house.
Well, the community is very lucky to have you and your team and you representing Habitat for Humanity.
I'm very lucky to live here.
Right? We say that a lot because
Yeah.
it is a gorgeous area. It's beautiful. The people are wonderful that are around. But, having, an organization that helps people realize their dreams and create that sustainability and create that, that permanent fixture that they can come to and know is something that, you and I, may have every day. There's a lot of people that don't.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
I applaud you and your team for the amazing work that you're doing.
I appreciate the time and I appreciate what you guys do.
Well, I can't believe it's actually the end of our, I just said that with Danielle too, but if anybody out there, please, stop by Habitat for Humanity, stop by the Restore, stop by or visit their website, pick up some tickets. Please.
We'll see you Thursday at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock at the Phoenix Room at JJ's. Wonderful organization and absolutely does some great things in the community. All the money goes right back into helping others in the quality of life in northeastern Michigan.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us today as we continue to learn about the wonderful world of nonprofits in our community. Stay tuned after the break for the ACC segment.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. I thought I'd share with you some of the details from our September board meeting, which happened last night. And one of the first things we talked about was fall semester enrollment. So as of September 15th, which was last Friday, the third Friday of fall semester, this is generally kind of the final count, enrollment was up compared to fall semester of 2022. Contact hours, those are the things that people pay for, were up 1.61%. Which results in about $45,000 ahead of budget. So this is a good thing. And headcount was up 0.38%, so less than 1%. But our headcount enrollment of 1,518 students is the highest fall semester enrollment since fall 2017. So that would be 6 years ago. One thing that happened at the end that bumped up our enrollment to this kind of plateau was we had about 50 students from Clarkston High School in Oakland County taking our 1-credit Introduction to Concrete course. These are high school CTE students taking this in a dual enrollment format. So that bumped quite a bit of head count that we don't normally get. Clarkston's a school that has about almost 600 students per class, and you know, Oakland County is populous, and our largest school, Alpena, is probably less than half that. So it's another way that the college is extending out some of the things that we do that's unique. Nobody has a concrete program except for ACC. We can't figure out exactly how to extend the lab part, which is in some ways the most unique and important feature of that program, as it is many tech programs, the hands-on part of it, the lab part. But it is very helpful to make people aware that there's a unique program up here. So if we extend this out to CTE students, they may say, wow, I didn't know that, I'm interested in that, and I'll come to Alpena to complete the concrete tech program. So that's the premise there, and it's working quite well. So fall semester enrollment is in good shape. I did share that I had the honor of walking the bridge on Labor Day with the governor and her husband, and that was fun. A beautiful morning, and she's a fast walker, I'll say that, and but it gave, you know, we ACC and I were invited, and not many were, so it gave me an opportunity to kind of touch base on things that are priorities for us. Funding for student housing is certainly on top of that list. Appropriations is certainly in that mix. That's always an annual concern or point of interest. And also how we might align with the governor's green energy, clean energy initiatives. We have some interesting potential alignment there. So it was fun and memorable. And we had a couple of things that we bought that I thought might be interesting to the viewers. One was a anatomage table. This is a virtual cadaver, you might say, that is a phenomenal learning tool. If you can picture a life-size table, electronic, which has a life-size person, and then with kind of a swipe methodology, you can kind of swipe and the skin falls away, swipe, and you can see then everything that's under the skin, musculature, nervous system, circulatory, all of this. And then you can continue to do that. It is an amazing thing. So we now have 3 of those, 2 on main campus, one in the nursing area, and the other, the one we purchased, will be in NRC, where we teach anatomy and physiology. So there was a need for 2 of them, and they're getting used. And then we also have one in Oscoda campus. So these are in the $60,000 range. We have a grant that funded it. So it didn't come out of our general fund. So this is a good thing. A good reason to chase a grant. And then the second piece that we purchased that has some interest is a neonatal simulator. You know, so this is a simulation that looks like a baby, and so it allows our nursing staff to get experience in working with what it would be like working with newborns. So this simulator is geared for Oscoda, which has really, our Oscoda campus, which has really been part of a general, I guess, upswing in our nursing program, upswing at least in terms of enrollment. We now have over 100 students, full-time students in the nursing program, the LPN and RN programs, both here in Alpena and in Oscoda in total. So this neonatal simulator helps Oscoda students, and it is also about $60,000, a little bit more, also funded out of a grant. We got an earmark 2 years ago, thanks in large part to Senator Peters for Oscoda campus, and we've been deploying those funds primarily in the nursing area. So what you see, if you've happened to have seen it up on main campus in Alpena, in the nursing wing there, we've also replicated down in Oscoda. So there's quite a bit of opportunity really in Oscoda, in that region, but also going south. You know, potentially in outreaching to K-12s who have nursing CTE programs. One area of real interest for us is in the Thumb, which is a very underserved area, we're told. So, you know, enrollment is a challenge in Northeast Michigan, Northeast Lower Michigan, as we've discussed many times. We embrace that challenge. We are leaning into it. And so things are going well at Alpena Community College. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts Bradley Summers and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WVKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production, all rights reserved.